Have you ever wondered why a woman has a favorite position? It's not about the body, technique, or rhythm. It's something deeper, her inner world. And if you understand it, you hold a key most men never touch. Marcus Aurelius said, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig." When she chooses her favorite position, she shows where she feels most alive, most safe, most open. For some, it gives control. For others, it allows surrender without fear. It's never random. It's meaningful. If you only focus on yourself, you miss the gift she offers. Epictetus reminded us, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Your role is not to rush, but to listen, to observe her body, her breathing, her choices. What she reveals is not just desire, it's trust." Picture this, a woman allowing you into the space where she feels free. That's not just pleasure, it's vulnerability. And vulnerability is sacred. Honor it, and you create a memory that lasts. Ignore it, and you will be forgotten. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Intimacy is not about taking more, but valuing what she offers. Treat it with reverence, and a simple act becomes timeless. Her favorite position is not routine. It is an invitation into her soul. Treat it with presence, gratitude, and respect. In that moment, you're not just touching her body, you're touching her essence. Presence is the first key. Too often, people move mechanically, repeating what they've seen as if intimacy were a routine. But a woman feels instantly when you are absent. Your eyes, your touch, your energy reveal everything. Marcus Aurelius said, "Give yourself a gift at present moment in her favorite position." Presence means she is the only person in your universe. Look into her eyes if you can. If not, let your hands speak. Caress her body as if discovering it for the first time. Then comes rhythm, not speed, not endurance. Rhythm is harmony. It's listening to her breath, her heartbeat, the subtle arch of her back. It's adjusting to her signals with patience and sensitivity. Epictetus taught, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." The same applies here. First, learn the meaning of her body, and then move. Imagine dancing. One partner leads, the other follows, yet both flow as one. That's the rhythm she craves. When you move with her soul, she feels understood without words. And when she feels understood, she opens fully, body and spirit. Your hands, your lips, your voice, these are not details, they are instruments. A woman notices when they are idle. Your hands should explore, hold, or soothe with intention. Each touch tells her if she is cherished or forgotten. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Your touch carries your thoughts. If your mind is absent, she feels it. If your mind is grateful, she feels that too. Your lips must not remain silent. Whisper into her ear. Let your breath brush her skin. Tell her what she means to you. Not rehearsed lines, but honest words. Epictetus reminded us, "What concerns me is not the way things are, but the way I think they are." Speak what you truly feel, and it becomes unforgettable. Even your voice has power. The tone, the softness, the intensity, these can linger longer than touch itself. Seneca once said, "Words need to be weighed, not counted." One sincere whisper may echo louder in her memory than 1,000 empty gestures. Remember, intimacy is not only about what she feels physically. It's about how your presence, your words, and your touch affirm her worth. Unforgettable moments are born from surprise. Her favorite position may be familiar, but what makes it last in her memory is when you elevate it beyond the ordinary. Change the tempo, shift the touch, introduce the unexpected always with care, never breaking trust. Seneca said, "Life is long if you know how to use it." The same is true in intimacy. Small changes stretch time, making each moment feel richer. Tenderness when she expects intensity, or intensity when she expects calm, these contrasts awaken her body and spirit. But deeper than surprise is emotion. Did she feel desired beyond measure? safe enough to let go completely. Cherished, respected, adored. Marcus Aurelius taught, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When your thoughts toward her are pure devotion, your actions carry that color. Think of a temple. When you step into her favorite position, you stand at the intersection of vulnerability and ecstasy. If you treat it carelessly, she feels used. But if you honor it as sacred, she feels treasured. Epictetus reminded us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish. Reverence is not weakness, it is strength, because it shows you value more than yourself. True intimacy is not routine. It is reverence, surprise, and emotion woven together into memory. Aftercare is not what happens after, it is part of the moment itself. Sometimes slowing down, holding her close, or simply breathing together creates deeper trust than the act itself. These gestures say, I am here with you, not chasing an end. Marcus Aurelius said, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. A soft kiss on her shoulder, your forehead pressed to hers, or a gentle hand through her hair, small things, but powerful. They show her you are savoring the journey, not racing to the finish. Trust grows in this soil of tenderness, and trust is the foundation of unforgettable intimacy. Epictetus reminded us, no man is free who is not master of himself. By mastering your urge to rush, you prove strength. Patience creates the space where her vulnerability feels safe. Passion is not performance. It is not copying what others do. It is letting your true desire flow without pretense. Seneca wrote, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When you drop the act and show your authentic hunger, she mirrors it, amplifies it, and the memory becomes alive. Presence, care, and authentic passion. These are the roots of trust and the seeds of memory. Anticipation is an art. It is not about withholding for control, but creating an experience, where she never knows what comes next, only that it will satisfy. Slow when she expects fast, pause for a kiss when she braces for motion. This tension makes her body not just react but yearn. Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, your awareness of her breath, the way her hands clutch the sheets, or the sound she makes when close to surrender. These small details speak her hidden language. If you respond at the perfect moment, she feels deeply understood. Epictetus reminded, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Apply this to intimacy. Listen to her body. Notice the rise and fall of her breathing, the way her eyes close tighter or open wider. Her body tells you everything if you are patient enough to read it. Seneca wrote, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. Do not scatter your focus. Be entirely with her. When you move with sensitivity to these subtle signs, you unlock a depth of connection beyond the physical. She may not know how you do it, but she will feel it tanned. She will remember you for it. Leave your ego at the door. Intimacy is not a stage to perform on, but a space to dissolve yourself. Too many men chase approval, lasting longer, looking stronger. But true freedom comes when your focus shifts entirely to her. When she feels your attention is on her pleasure, trust is born. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Do not argue with yourself about how impressive you look. Be present. Be good. Be hers in that moment. Then comes contrast. Firm and gentle. Command and surrender. Silence and words. This duality mirrors her own desires. She wants to feel both powerful and undone. Seneca wrote, opposites are cured by opposites. Give her both sides, the strength and the tenderness, and she will remember it as more than an act, but a spectrum of emotions. Epictetus reminded us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. React with wisdom. Adjust between control and softness, between silence and whisper. This contrast keeps her engaged, alive in the moment. When she experiences both sides of her nature through you, the memory becomes whole, something that rarely fades. Energy cannot be seen, but it is always felt. Carry impatience, and she senses it. Bring distraction, and she withdraws. But bring reverence, devotion, and passion, she feels that too, and it stays with her. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your thoughts shape your energy." Enter her world with gratitude, and your presence transforms the entire experience. Vulnerability must flow both ways. Many expect a woman to open herself, but forget that a man's own vulnerability is just as powerful. When you reveal raw desire and honest emotion, you invite her into a space of truth. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish. Dropping the mask of control is not weakness, is courage. Think of stillness. Not every moment requires movement. Sometimes holding her, letting her feel your heartbeat and breath, speaks louder than motion. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. Stillness is courage in intimacy. It shows her you are not restless, but rooted in her presence." Energy, vulnerability, and stillness. Together they turn passion into memory and connection into something eternal. Creativity keeps intimacy alive. Even in her favorite position, there are infinite possibilities. Shift the angle, add a kiss, whisper, or hold her in stillness. It's not about extravagance, it's about refusing to let routine steal the magic. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. Do not fear limitation. Within one position, infinite depth can be found. By adapting with creativity, you prove commitment to her experience, not your habit. Your voice is another tool too often ignored. The tone, the softness, or even the raw growl, these touch her spirit beyond the body. Epictetus taught, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Let your voice match your true desire, and she will carry its echo long after. Seneca wrote, "Words need to be weighed, not counted. A single heartfelt whisper can outlast endless gestures. She may forget a touch, but she will remember the sound of your voice in her ear, full of passion and presence." Creativity and voice, two forces that make the familiar unforgettable. Generosity is the heart of lasting intimacy. It is giving without keeping score, pouring into her without thought of return. When she feels your full investment in her pleasure, she knows she is valued. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that. Do not be selfish like others. She has known be different. Be generous." Trust grows when generosity is constant, and trust builds attachment that lasts. Epictetus reminded us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Restraint is mastery pacing the moment, stretching it into something timeless. Restraint makes each wave stronger, each memory deeper. Seneca wrote, "To do the same things whether you are compelled or not is nevertheless servitude. Rushing is slavery to impulse." Patience is freedom. When you savor instead of rushing, the climax overwhelms her body and soul. After the act, do not vanish. Hold her, kiss her forehead, trace her skin as if still memorizing it. This is afterglow, the time where memory locks into her heart. She will remember that you cared not only in passion, but in the stillness after. Generosity, restraint, and afterglow. These transform a simple encounter into something unforgettable. Intimacy is never just one act or one night. It is the collection of small details woven together into something larger than life. Her body may forget the exact motion, but her soul remembers presence, rhythm, surprise, tenderness, and passion. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity. Every look, every touch, every word leaves an imprint. If you treat her with reverence, those echoes last far beyond the moment." Epictetus taught, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If you choose to be the man who listens, who honors, who gives, then every action reflects that choice. You are not just making love, you are shaping memory. Seneca reminded us, "It is quality rather than quantity that matters. The measure is not how much you do, but how deeply she feels seen and cherished." When she looks back, she won't recall numbers, but the rare way you made her soul feel alive. So remember, unforgettable intimacy is never about doing more, but about being more. More present, more aware, more authentic. When you treat her favorite position as sacred, you are not just touching her body, you are touching eternity within her.